Hi friends, this is Susan Smith with StampCreatively, and this is our oldest granddaughter, Ruby.
Hi.
She's here from St. Louis. She's going to stamp with me for a minute. We've got some things to show you. The first thing I wanted to say, which I'm never very good at, is make sure you like my channel so you can get updates when I add things. If you want to be a part of my email, I have specials and I do different things. I have classes. Make sure you go to my blog, which is StampCreatively.com, and ask to be on my email list. My friends and I were demonstrators together, and we got together last week and we looked at analytics. And I'm terrible with numbers. God gave me gifts, but numbers is not one of them. And so when I looked in, 80% of the people that watch my videos don't subscribe to my channel. I need you to subscribe to it. YouTube's a weird beast, and I need you to subscribe to my channel. Okay, Ruby and I have a project for you. I'm going to switch the camera so you can see. She and I are going to stamp together. We haven't practiced because I like that best of all. So I'm going to pull this camera down so you can see my table, but see, it covers Ruby. That's why I had to move it up. So here we go. These are the things we want to show you. So I'm going to use Grassy Grove, which is a stamp set in the January to June catalog. I had a customer say she was having problems with some of the way she was creating with it. So I said, let me try. So I have the Grove dies. And this is the card I made. So this is the one Ruby and I are going to make for you. My friend Sherry's Cards did something similar, but I think she used different colors. I saw her card and remembered the fold, but I'm not sure if she used vellum. They're definitely different. And I'm not sure she impressioned the front. I don't remember. I just remember seeing the card. So this is my version of her card. And now I'm going to show you.
I like how you put the sparkles on them.
You like the sparkly deer?
Yeah.
Of course. She's a sparkle girl, so I wanted to see if my deer would sparkle. So I have a little sparkle.
Oh, yeah, the sparkle pen.
So when Ruby comes to the house, here's my StampCreatively mug. Here are my erasable pens. And somehow we end up with a link of Stella in there. Why do you think that is? Because it sparkles.
Yeah.
She likes to write with sparkles. Okay, so I took, this is Smoky Slate. This one I ran through the textured embossing folder because I wanted to see if I liked it. This one I'm not, and then we can, that way when I show you the pictures we have two different ones. I cut this 4 1/4, so it's 8.5 by 4, or it's 11 by 4 1/4. I ran it through our cut and emboss machine and cut the front out, okay? Then I took a piece of Whisper White and I cut it 4 by 8. So I'm sorry, 4 by 10.5. So I cut off a 1/2 inch of the 8.5 by 11, and then I cut it 4. And I'm going to just fold it directly in half. The key to this card, and I'm not going to tell you I made this mistake a couple of times, you have to stamp on this side because you're going to adhesive it in here so that it does this. And so you have to stamp on this side. This is the front of my card. So this is where I'm going to put these images. Okay, I used 2 colors. I used Crumb Cake and I used Pear Pizzazz. And I'll show you how I put this together, and Ruby will assist me. And Ruby, how old are you?
I'm 7
Okay.
and a half.
Oh, again, we've talked about this. My grandchildren use halves. Their grandmother does not. I do not need to be 60 and a half. So I have my words up here. But Ruby still uses halves, and I like it. So I've added my words with the crumb cake. I've got this image, which is like the grass, and I am going to tap it on the edge of the crumb cake and then tap it on the edge of the Pear Pizzazz. And then I'm going to add it to the bottom of my card. I'm going to do it one more time. You like this?
Mm-hmm.
Magic. And that's how I've added it to the bottom of my card. Now, I liked an image on the inside. So I did the same thing on the inside. I'm going to tap it across the bottom and then add my pair of pizzazz. I'm going to put it right in here. And then I'm going to add, the words are, sometimes you need to know that someone really cares. And so this image says, I wanted it over here. That someone is me. So I can write the message in there. We've had a couple of friends pass away recently, and I have cards to send.
Yep, me too.
I know, it's not any fun, is it? Okay,
My
so
dad's fun
this,
and then mom's friend.
Yeah, that's not any fun. So this one, I'm going to do in the crumb cake, and we're going to do it a little bit different. I have a blending brush here, and so I'm going to ask Ruby to do a little tapping for me. So you need to tap it in here, then I'm going to have you tap it around this edge, okay? Now wait a minute, let me ink this good. So you can see I have ink across the bottom. Now I'm going to take my finger. You can take a rag or whatever else you want. I'm just going to go around here because I want to take some of that brown off, or that crumb cake. And Ruby, that's where I want you to do your tapping. Let's move your thing up here. So tap harder, squish it. There you go. Don't drag it. You want to go like this. You want to go just up and down. See how I'm doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you do it just like I did. There you go. We'll do it again on another one in a minute. So now across the top of here, I know that looks pretty, and I'm going to kind of cover it up a little bit because I'm going to do this. I'm going to scooch this way. I'm going to put that right down. I'm going to go one more time just so it kind of shadows it a little bit. Is that not pretty? Okay, Ruby, now we're going to do some trees, okay? So I'm going to take this tree, and I'm going to tap it in the brown. Now I want you to make the top of the tree green by doing this, just like I showed you. Do it one more time. Okay, friends, here are our trees. Let's see how Ruby did. I believe in her. Oh, look at those trees. Let me show you. Isn't that good? She did great. Now this tree right here, because I have it on the crease, is doing some weird things. So I am going to take it. Oh, what the heck? It's got some kind of wonky fold in it. I know. We'll hit that with a Wink of Stella.
Wink of Stella.
Excuse me. Get your Wink of Stella. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this Wink of Stella that Ruby loves, because I have this little white spot. See the edge of this pad that has just a little bit of green on it? I'm going to hit that right there. And I'm going to hit my Wink of Stella. How'd I do? Did you hear that, friends? She never knew I could do that. So I've taken a little bit of Wink of Stella, and because I've Wink of Stella that little tree, I'm going to do a little couple more. Yep, do it, friend. Start down here at the bottom of the tree. How's it look? Fantastic. Okay, no more. We're going to move to something else, okay? Because they don't want to watch us for hours color trees, but we could color trees for a while, couldn't we, Rubes? Okay, so this one is a little bit taller tree. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tap it in my crumb cake. I'm going to take my finger and kind of go along it a little bit because I want to remove some of that crumb cake. Okay, Ruby, tap that thing. This also, by tapping it with the blending brush, it's going to blend that pear in there. It makes it look amazing. Okay, there's my trees. Okay, there's my pretty. It's beautiful. Now I want to show you. Now we need the deer. But I want to show you, I could put the deer on the inside, or I could put the deer on the outside.
Or you could do both.
I could do both. We have a die that will cut out the deer. So in here is a die that cuts around the image that I stamp. It's got a lot of dies with it.
Oh,
all of these cut around the image.
Deer.
It has a tiny deer. It has this deer that I can cut out that's going to face differently.
Or it looks like a wolf, kind of.
Okay. But this one's going to face differently than the one I stamp. So I can cut these out, or I can stamp them. This ridge would cut along this ridge. So you could tuck things behind it. So that would raise, and you could tuck the trees behind it. There's all kinds of things that you can do with this. This is great. In fact, there's so much in my head that I want to do, I may have to do a second video. Okay, so I want to show you, we're going to add the deer. I'm going to move the pear out of the way. Ruby's done a great job of tapping with that blending brush. And here's the crumb cake. Going to add my deer right here. Let me move this out of the way so they can kind of see. I'm going to put my deer right here in the middle. Put that deer. And that's fantastic.
Sparkle it.
Are you going to sparkle the deer? Okay,
Yeah.
here. Let me scooch it over here so you can do that. Don't forget, when you bump the table, Gimmy's table moves. So she's going to sparkle the deer, and I'm going to show you how I added some vellum. I'm going to put glue dots in the corner of my vellum. Just in the four corners, we're going to put a glue dot. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but the other three grandchildren are upstairs
Playing with the dogs.
playing with the dogs, chasing the puppy. How's Roxy, Ruby?
Aw, she's gotten even cuter.
Yeah, Ruby was here a week ago and got to see her before everybody else.
Yep. I was lucky.
Yes, you were. Okay, friend. Here we go. So I am going to put my seal on the back of this and flip this over and put it right in here. Okay, so this is now ready to go. If I close the card, it looks like this, which is fantastic. But I wanted to mute my deer just a little bit.
So that whenever they open the card, they'll kind of be surprised.
Kind of be surprised, yeah. So I just laid my vellum right in there. So now I have, it's a little muted. Well, come on, friends. That was ridiculous.
Oh, Gammy.
I know. So now we have this.
The inside looks a little bit plain.
Which is inside this? Well, I gotta write my message in there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, friends, we are all done. Oh, here comes Mama. Mama's going to come tell us something. We'll see what Mama needs.
With the tiny little baby. Come on, Mom.
No. Do you have Ingrid with you? You're by yourself? Kayla's
Come on.
hiding. She hides around the corner.
Mom, come on.
All right, friends, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll have a list of everything we're using. So, all right, friends, thanks. Have a good one. Okay, Ruby, tell them bye.
Bye. Gotta write my note.
Uh-huh. She's writing a note. If you write in that card, I'm going to kick your hiney. Did you hear that, friends? Oh, she's already written it. She thinks she's sending a note to somebody. She doesn't know that we still have to take pictures. All right, friends.
Good thing I have the
Erasable
erasable
pins. She already
pins.
erased it. All right, friends. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right.